Oh, shit, I forgot to bring it all up. Hold on. Welcome to the Off-Label Podcast. It's your twice weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. Look, we got a little bit to go through here. I told you they were going to target Texas. And there is a little bit of a screenshot here, which I need to go back and really find that shows exactly what I've been pointing out. There is a little bit of a weird detail to it, but we got that, and I will go ahead and run through it again because, well, our guest, I want to get his reaction on the whole take as well. Let's see. We got some more footage coming out from the January 6th, or not January 6th, but the J13 incident, just to be on the low with YouTube. We got some more footage on that we're actually going to take a look at as well, get everybody's reaction. We do actually have video evidence of illegals voting now. Or at least they're registered to vote. And to finish it all off, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to have fun on Rumble. And we're just going to get into some little stories here and there. But let's go ahead and start the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
She can get bills passed in Congress that'll protect me and you.
Black, white, Latino, Asian, or LGBTQ.
She could get this country back to where we can stand tall, keeping us safe from harm without building a wall. 'Cause she's a woman, W-O-M-A-N.
Shut up,
Say it
bitch.
again. She's a woman.
Shut up, bitch.
K-A-M-A-L-A.
That's enough of that
Shut
shit.
up, bitch.
What is that?
What is what?
What the fuck did we just watch?
I don't know what that was.
W/MEN. They're men/woman. Hi, folks. Welcome.
Baby,
What?
what's that line? This is the greatest show.
This is the greatest. By the way, Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine was a great fucking movie. And
Still
there's
need
a
to go
little
see it.
part. Dude, they have a fight in a Honda Odyssey, and Wolverine smashes Deadpool's head into the radio, and all of a sudden you hear, "This is the greatest show." There's so many fucking Easter eggs in that movie. It's amazing. That movie was so good. There was some like parts where, you know, you kind of want to you kind of tear up because they have some serious moments. The cameos in that movie, holy balls. Jennifer, I'm not going to spoil it. The cameos in that movie, I literally yelled in the movie theater, "Fuck yeah!" It was so good. It was so good. And it was just that I recommend go see it. Go see it in the movie theaters because it's so fucking good. The baby
I
got
need to.
so mad because we watched it in this like atmospheric kind of movie theater thing where like the sides and the screen were part of the movie, and then the effects were so loud it shook your seat, and the baby was fucking angry. Baby was so mad she gave Amanda Braxton Hicks for like 5 minutes. She's like, yeah, I came 4 times
Just assume he knows about it.
without any Blue Chew.
I haven't had that many conversations with Scoop, but yeah, I mean, if he's welcome, but no,
You gotta get Scoop
like,
over here.
I
Who's
do
Scoop?
want to see that movie. So, yeah, I'll see it eventually this weekend. We do have a little bit of a special guest back with us again. We got Ryan Rogers. Ryan, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Glad to be back on.
One of
Yeah.
our favorite people, new people at the network. I love how Ryan's just like I don't give a fuck. That's
Right.
one of my favorite things about Ryan, and that's what I love about this network and the people on here that just like, yeah, whatever, dude. This is what I'm gonna say, and that's what it is, and I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And that's my favorite thing because we're all kind of the same. We're all kind of like, this is what we said. You don't like it, too fucking bad. Go somewhere else if you want to be pampered. And
Right.
Ryan is one of those people.
Dude, I do. I say what I want, but I'm always open to have my mind changed if you can articulate something that makes sense to me.
Right.
I think that's important too. I will say what I say, but I welcome somebody to correct me if what I'm saying is wrong.
Okay.
And-
Well,
yeah,
let's
and-
see if I can actually get you to think about this for a second then. How about that?
Let me get my thinking hat on.
All right. So let's look at it from this direction. The CNN, like I have yet to find this little clip. I want to see this little clip. But I found this. CNN for Harris's battleground blitz, the state she wants to target. Why would she waste money in Texas just for what? Houston and maybe Dallas?
Austin. She's going to try Austin.
Maybe.
Austin is where everybody from California fled. All the big
Maybe.
tech, Joe Rogan, the comics.
Guess where
I
the
think
illegals in Texas are staying.
What's that?
Guess where the illegals in Texas are staying.
I mean, and then that's a problem too. I think there's a thing now where the government, didn't we talk about this a couple weeks ago, where they can register you to vote?
Yup.
So if
So
you have
we're
a
gonna-
bunch, I don't know, like 22 million new illegals come in and you register all of them to vote by mass, and then even a quarter of them vote.
Well, see, here's the thing. It goes a little bit darker than that because you'll catch that shit easily, right? Once you look at everything, hey, is this person who this is, they say this is? Now, track it. All right, so we go through Texas here. Like Texas, we were calling this Texas and Arizona are the ones that they will actually need in that. Because if you take Texas and you take Arizona, the Democrats, with the way the map stands right now, take all of the swing states and turn them light red. All they would need to do is light blue Texas, light blue Arizona. They have 277.
Is that to include if you
I'll show you.
give Republicans all of the purple states?
I'll show you. Hold on.
Okay.
You turn that light red. All of the swing states, you turn light red. You turn Texas light blue. You turn Arizona white blue or light blue. You got 277.
Now turn New York light blue,
Yeah, he's not wrong.
and now turn it red.
That's what I've been calling. New York is primed to flip.
So if New York flips, then the Texas play turns out a bit different.
That's
Illinois is not gonna flip,
that
Virginia-
actually assumes Pennsylvania stays red.
Yeah, that assumes that.
And that's a play
Um,
that she will make. So let's turn that light blue. You would need one more state that's on that list. North Carolina, Georgia. You'd easily flip Georgia like Fannie Willis
North
was a
Carolina, they're
star.
making a play for and has voted blue in the past. So I'd say light red at best. Yeah.
North Carolina or Georgia. All you have to do is take Texas. Flip Texas, you got it. Any other one, easy play.
I just
Easy
don't
play
know
for
how
any
many
other one.
people fled progressive policies to go to Texas from California that are going to arrive at California and vote for progressive policies.
Well,
Well,
here's
I
your
think it's
problem.
gonna be
You
a
have
lot more than
your
that.
entire
have-
family and make that change. Do you then vote for the same old thing that you ran from?
Well, here's the same thing. Here's the thing. So you have New York City, which has the majority population of New York, and everybody thinks New York City is the majority of New York. When you have upstate New York, which is bigger than New York City, but has less population because of density. So you take Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and possibly Austin, and that right there, those three big cities will flip Texas blue.
Yes.
So if you capture those three cities,
If you get enough signatures to flip those cities, you have the state.
And if you win the state, the chances of the Democrats winning the Oval are infinitely higher.
You can easily explain away Pennsylvania and Georgia or North Carolina staying blue or going blue. You could easily explain that away in the media and nobody would think twice about it.
but here's the fucking problem though. You have Illinois, Pennsylvania, and New York as turning fucking red for the first time in
I don't know if they're turning
Huh?
red.
dude,
I said
Illinois.
I don't know if they're turning red. It's a purple state right now, but like don't fall for the propaganda on the right either.
No,
Don't
no,
say
no, no, no.
100,000
I'm watching
people
what's
now.
I'm watching
Yeah,
what's
no.
going on in videos and things like that
Yeah,
too that are
I'm-
actually happening on the ground. I'm listening to their news and everything. Yes, people
Dude,
are pissed.
New
I
York.
mean, I hope that's true.
New York is listen. This is what I say. If you change the South Bronx, you probably have New York. AOC is the representative of South Bronx. When you saw Trump's rally in the South Bronx bring in 10 times more people than Jamal Bowman and AOC in the South Bronx, you have a problem. You have a huge problem. The only problem is Trump was right when he talked about the other day when he said Christians go out and vote. Republicans don't. They just will sit at home and will just go, yeah, okay, I'll vote whatever if I want to feel like it, whatever.
I don't
You-
think that's going to be the case this time.
I don't
No,
think
it's
so
not.
either. I don't think so either. With people seeing that they're being lied to every single day about food prices and how great the economy is, and you have eggs at $7 a fucking carton.
Well, let
you
me
have-
ask both of you guys
Oh
something.
shit, that's not going to work. Hold on. Let me
Do
hit
you
that one.
guys believe that each of you, do either of you believe that the last election was fair and honest?
2020 or 2022?
2020.
No,
So,
Okay,
What am-
so
I don't even
So,
think
let me ask
2018
you
and
this.
2016 were fair.
I
I'm going
don't
to be
know.
completely honest.
I don't either. So let me ask you this. Like assuming, since, you know, three sane-minded individuals honestly think that basically the U.S. government Venezuela'd itself, because we started it with them too, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
We were going
What
on.
I'm saying is, they tried to kill this man a few weeks ago.
Yes.
They already, in my eyes, successfully stole one election. Why would you ever think that they wouldn't do it again? They tried
Exactly.
to kill him. All
Exactly.
this fucking election map means nothing right now.
I
Because
understand.
it could have honestly been a landslide last time, which is the way it felt until the power went off in the middle of the night for everybody. Until people were told to stop counting ballots, until states were off the SOP, and so many things happened that were weird. I mean, generally, when something looks like a piece of shit and it smells like a piece of shit, it's generally a piece of shit. Like in the masses. I mean, we can do that.
Well, we talked to Jennifer on Tuesday, right? And this is what we're trying to let everybody know, and Jennifer helped us out. Make sure when you go vote, there's no Sharpie. Don't do a Sharpie, because she said that the thing doesn't take. Make sure if you have an anomaly, you go and let a poll worker know there's a problem, because they have to register it.
Make sure that you have voted correctly.
And
too.
that's a lot of things that people didn't know last time.
And
A lot of
think about it, Davey. Think about this. Does that matter?
It does.
Not if they stole the election, it doesn't matter.
But okay, here's the thing. The election wasn't stolen, okay? The election was rigged. And I'll tell you why the election was rigged. Because you had all these people going to these like even fucking Sunny Houston told on air, said that she voted for her son.
Yes.
So now you kind of know they played their hand. That's the thing. They played their hand. And they told you exactly what they did. Even Time Magazine wrote about the deep state and how they cheated the election. So now you have more people who kind of are understanding of the things that are going on. So now you have a lot more people going, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You probably, I'm guaranteeing you right now, if some of the same shit that happened in 2020 goes on in 2024, there will be a lot more of an uproar and a lot more of people going, this is how I voted. This is what's fucked up. Or a lot more videos of people putting out there that, listen, look at this. I hit this and it keeps going to this. I hit this and I keep going to this. There will be a lot more problems this time around than there was last time, because last time nobody was prepared for what happened. Nobody. So if somebody goes, oh, the power is out, we're going home, I guarantee you this time people will go, okay, and wait there and stay and wait and see what happens. And then if something happens and all of a sudden they start recounting at a certain time, I guarantee you there will be a flood of people who were there to be like, no, motherfuckers, this is not happening again. So they played their hand and they fucked up by showing their hand last time.
Well, it's a hand they didn't probably think they'd have to play twice.
No.
Well, let me kind of flesh this out for you. Okay. You have this executive order that was signed on March 7th of 2020, or that went into effect March 7th on 2021. These were one of the 50 he signed the first damn day in office. Okay. Executive order on promoting access to voting that, like we said before, gives all but 5, maybe 6 agencies of the federal government the ability to register people to vote. Now this, where is it? I found this right here. Now this comes from Facts Matter with Roman Baumakov. It's an Epic Time thing. I don't care what you think about Epic Times, because this information that he quotes in this was sourced from an actual federal case where the man went to jail for voter fraud. It was only for 2022, but in the documents, he admitted it. He did it for 2018 and 2020. He went to jail because he would pay people to go grab ballots with just a signature on them. They would bring them to him. His team would fill them out and then pay other people to stuff ballot boxes. 2,000 fucking mules. That's what you were seeing with that shit.
Yeah.
I don't care how you feel about Epic Times. I've actually looked at the documents myself. I don't have them. I need to go save them so I can bring them up and everything like that too. But yeah, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And
sad.
You say there's no election fraud. Why in the fuck was a Limestone County social worker charged with 134 felony counts involving election fraud the day of the election? And that was in Texas. How? You say that's not going to happen? Texas can't flip? I mean, Davey, you remember that story about what was it, the Muskegon police? Where they ran that, they were running that, that they were surveilling an election registering ring because they thought there was something fishy going on. These motherfuckers wound up finding 150,000 illegal registrations that were filled out. Some of the ballots and caches of weapons. Like, why do you need weapons if you're doing that? Like, we're talking about like AR-15s and custom pistols as far as the police documents were concerned that they found on these people, and they just let them go because they just disappeared. They had rental cars that were in somebody else's name, and you just, it's whatever. We stopped it. That's just one story, though.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that more people voted for Biden than voted for Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
See,
do
I have a hard time.
Do you want to know the reason why? You want to know the reason why? Because people were sent in mail-in ballots that didn't expect to get it. I have a family member that worked for a government agency that delivers mail. I'll just put it that way. And they told me that they witnessed people getting ballots who no longer lived at addresses.
Yeah.
And so that's why the whole ID thing was a major issue. And that's why people don't want it on a certain side, is because you can get, and they were also saying that when everybody got those $600 checks, those checks were going to people that no longer lived at addresses. And so with the ballots, you could just fill them out. Like we've proven on the show that people were just filling out ballots, signing whatever it was, and then just handing it in, and they were counting it. So you can have somebody send in, say, to a multi-family house, a two-family house, people getting ballots of people who no longer live there. Say they get two-family house, 8 people live there. You get 16 ballots because people don't live there anymore, and people just filling out ballots for people who don't live there anymore. And now instead of 8, you have 16. And that's how, and then if they vote in another state, they were going, oh, that's not possible. It is possible, because you go into another state or something like that and you vote and they hand it in, and there's no evidence stating that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have people voting in different states that just getting ballots and just sending them in, and they were putting it through. Not only that, there's video after video of people, even if they were lying, were saying they were opening up ballots for Trump, ripping them up and throwing them away. Even if they were lying, the fact that they would put that online and say that is a problem. That's like the kids nowadays filming crimes and then putting it online and just be like, and get no repercussions from it.
Right.
And that's the same thing.
Well,
don't know if it's true.
Yeah, but you're going to get into like freedom of speech and expression and thought, so you got to be careful with that. But I think that, dude, if we just went to in-person voting and you must have your ID card with you or Social Security to prove that you're an American citizen of the age of 18 or older, that was it. That would clear the problem. Well, that would clear a lot of problems up.
And the fact that you have people in Congress and Senate saying that the reason why you don't need an ID is because you don't know where the DMV is, or you don't know how to use a computer, calling you a fucking idiot to your face.
I mean,
and
you ain't black if you don't vote for Biden.
I mean, I'm sorry. They're proving that you're the idiot that they think you are. Why would you vote for somebody who calls you an idiot? Why would you vote for somebody who's like, you don't know how to get an ID? And then people are like, I know where the fucking DMV is. It's right down the block. Like, and then you would continue to vote for them. But not for nothing, I see a lot of Black Americans waking up and going, why am I voting for the Democrat Party? They have done nothing for us. Every 4 years, they come out and tell us they're going to do something for us, and they never did. Barack Obama was president for 8 years, did nothing for us.
Right. We got video footage of that coming up very soon too. But I wanted to get back to this here real quick.
I'm sorry. I do think more people voted for Joe Biden than they did Hillary Clinton.
Yes, did they mean to? Yeah, even if you want to do that, the anti-Trump vote. That's what it was. Oh, I don't like Trump because of what the news told me, so I'll just mark this down and just move on.
That too.
That too. Yes. Could he have gotten the paper with the signature on it? More paper signatures? Yes. 100%. And this is actually why.
And hold on, let me make one more quick point. You know how most people's passwords are password 123? How many people's actual signature are their actual signature? How many people just scribble as their signature? So you just get somebody who scribbles as their signature, and yeah, that's it. That's all you need. That's all. And nobody's gonna look twice. Have you ever had anybody look at your ID? Here's a great point. You have a credit card, right? Has anybody looked at your credit card signature to match the signature that when you sign for something?
Yeah, but I have please check signature on the back of mine.
Yeah, but most people don't. I have credit. I don't think I've signed one credit card that I've gotten in the last 5 years. I've not signed it, and
I mean, it's stupid, but I mean, it's not even needed because all you do is just slide it in and just go.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Like, you know, most of those people are just like, that's my signature. Sometimes I just sign my initials for my signature.
Right. But here's the thing. You are correct with that. And this is the actual problem here. This is when this shit was first noticed. This is the Social Security Administration's own damn website for the Help America Vote verification. This is the Help America Vote Act. Okay. What this is this allows people who don't have an ID to register using the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and their last name. Okay. If they do not have an ID, they cannot prove who they are. They can register with the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and their last name. Now, when we saw this, it was back in February of this year. The reason why I say they're going to flip Texas, in 2 weeks, Texas reports every 2 weeks to this system. 219,323 brand new first-time registering people using the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and their last name. 36,014 didn't know that information correctly. They were single non-matches, which means nothing about the last 4 digits or the last name matched up in any way. Out of the rest of them that did exist, 178,750 were single match alive, which means this does match up with this one person that's alive. 4,559 dead. Tried to register to vote. Now, this seems to be, it's a pattern for like 2.5, 3 months at least with Texas, where they're registering it's even longer. It's like 3 or 4 months where they're registering every 2 weeks, 6-digit numbers, somewhere up into the 300,000s on some points. And it's the same amount of bullshit across the fucking board. Look, you got Missouri, which is something we pointed out. Kansas was at the beginning of this shit when I was looking around the time this thing was signed. Missouri, 78,421, 5,938 did not know their shit. 23,253 were dead.
Oh my God. What's New York say?
New York is not that big of a thing right now because it's safe blue. The ones on this list are mostly red or battleground states.
About Pennsylvania?
Just in the time on this list, it goes by week, so you can check every single one of them. 62,999.
Oh, shit! Oh, I thought
2,830 were not matching. 29 were dead.
Wait, go back to Missouri for a second. How many were fucking dead?
Yes. You heard that correctly. 78,421 tried to vote. 23,000 dead.
Third were dead.
It is an algorithm hitting the system because if you look at the numbers consistently, it registers as like, okay, we hit this amount and 10% were non-matches, roughly around 10% are not matches. Single match deceased. Oh, we came across an anomaly. How do we account for that shit in an algorithm? We don't know if they're dead. That's a variable. So it is a single match deceased because they're running an algorithm just throwing numbers at the fucking wall with a last name behind it to see if it actually fucking sticks. Texas said they have no idea what the fuck any of this is. They don't know because they've only registered like 57,000 people, and that was like March or so that they said that. They had no idea what the fuck this was about. But yet they're consistently hitting every 2 weeks 6-digit number registrations. First time new registered voters.
Now, there's got to be some kind of average number for each state of new voters that come into the voting age population each year.
Well, see, all you have to do is just run the last 4 digits of a social security number and a last name and see who's still alive, who's dead, who hasn't registered, who has registered. What can you do? Like what you're seeing right here with the single match alive is the amount of people that the federal government can register to vote. And they wouldn't even know. Because there's nothing in that executive order that says you must send this information out. So when a mail-in ballot comes, it's because of this. That's how they're going to flip Texas. Because here's the thing. With all the illegals coming in, you know those packets that they're given, telling them what to do, where to go, how to interact with people, things like that. You have them sign documents as they arrive to their location where they're automatically registered to vote, right? They sign a document. Hey, here's what I need you to do. You have a signature. You have your signature that you've been signing. Sign this name. Just sign the name of the paperwork. They're none the wiser. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They sign your name in their signature. Okay?
Yep. And then when I vote, my signature doesn't match and theirs does. Yeah.
That's how they're going to have the illegals voting. And nobody's going to be none the fucking wiser because how can you prove that when it is an American citizen actually fucking voting?
Yeah.
Now,
it needs to be in person and it needs to be one day. That's what it needs to be.
Where is that? Where is that video, damn it? All right, here we go. Non-citizens registered in Georgia. Footage obtained by Real Muckraker shows numerous non-citizens admitted to being registered voters. A staggering 14% of the non-citizens spoken to admitted to being registered to vote.
Registering Hispanic people so they can vote in upcoming elections. Are you already registered? We already voted. You already voted? Yes. Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered or?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered at work? Yes, we have. You've already been registered? Are you a citizen or not a citizen?
No es.
The apartment complex Elliott Norcross in Norcross, Georgia, is occupied primarily by non-citizens. We visited the complex to ask residents 2 questions. Are you a citizen, and are you registered to vote? Shockingly, 14% of respondents admitted to being non-citizens registered to vote.
Is that the dude from Muckraker?
Yeah.
Those guys do some fucking great, some good work.
But yeah, they go around, they show you on the footage and everything how they go around doing that. But yeah, they're having these motherfuckers voting.
What's 14% of 22 million?
22 million will be 10% of that would be 2.2 million. 1% of that would be 220,000. So 220,000.
300 million. I'm sorry, 3 million.
No.
3 million.
3 million.
Roughly about that, yeah. But that's just 14% of what they looked at in Georgia. The people they talked to, they didn't talk to every single non-citizen.
Sure.
What was their sample size compared to how many people are actually there? Scale that up.
Yeah.
Now, even scale that up into the country, you're talking about 20, 30 million votes, man.
KB
And we're
says,
talking about
I don't choose violence, but I have hard boundaries.
Now we're talking about like you're talking about non-citizens. We're also talking about those DACA recipients who are, past their stay or anything like that. I mean, look, I get it. Honestly, it's a fine line to walk. But if you re-register this time and you extend it, I'm happy with you staying. Fuck it up again, you gotta go. I will give you that leeway. If you've been here before all this shit with the migrant caravans went down and right before the 2020 election, if you've been here for a minute before then, cool. I'll let you stay. Re-register once again. We'll let you stay until the whole process is done because you've already shown that you want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that's crossed the border since then, get it out. Let's do it the right way.
It's going to be interesting to watch how they try to handle that situation. Even Trump.
It's going to be difficult. I don't think you're going to be able to.
I don't know how you do this mass deportation. I mean, I know it's possible. You could do it, but.
I mean, you got figures from like 7.2 million known gotaways in this country that we know of. And there's estimations of up to, 10, 15, 20 million some places?
15, almost 60 million now.
Yeah.
How are you going to catch the disparity between that? You got more than double the amount of people that are here that came here illegally.
Well, here's the problem, and this is what I don't understand. The census. We're supposed to take a census on American citizens, yet they're allowing people who are here illegally on the fucking census.
Mm-hmm.
And what the census does is allow you to have more representatives.
Yeah.
So with the influx of representatives, now all of a sudden, California, I know they've gone down or whatever, but if you have an influx of people who are non-citizens and they're counted on the census, now all of a sudden California goes from 40 representatives to 42. Now their electoral college gives them more, so it's like, why are we allowing as a country to do this?
Well,
no other country allows it.
This administration is allowing it, and it makes perfect sense why they're allowing it.
But even in 2020, when Trump was president, they allowed it to happen. So even that, and that's one of the things that I didn't like about Trump. Like, bro, why are you allowing this to happen? Why are you allowing them to register people who are not in the country? By the way, let me put this fucking out there. If you cross the border illegally and you do not go through a fucking checkpoint, you have committed a crime. I don't care what you say. It is a crime to enter the United States illegally.
Yeah.
You have committed a crime. People crossing the border, claiming asylum. Yes, you have. If you have not gone through the port of entry, I'm sorry. You are only here.
You forfeited that right to claim asylum. If you did not come through a port of entry, you forfeited that right to claim asylum. Because the first act was breaking a fucking law. You're proving that you don't even want to be here because you think you can do whatever you want. Your first fucking act was breaking a fucking law. And you knew what you were doing. Let's be honest. You got videos of these motherfuckers actually walking around part of the fence as it's been built. All right, there's a fence there. There's a problem there. But you just walk around it like disrespectful. Like come on.
Yeah. We don't have $5 billion to go to build a wall, but we have $200 billion to give to a country fighting for things that we have no fucking interest in. Long term, probably. Short term, $200 billion?
Well, I mean, you gotta switch the lens sometimes, Davey. Sometimes go look through the lens like this. Because I spent $200 billion, and mind you, that's not 200 billion cash dollars. A lot of that was weapons and ammunition that we took out of our hangars and gave to them. And we said, that's $100 million worth of tanks, and that's $100 million worth of, other assets and ammunitions, right? So there's your $200 million. And what did that do for us? It opened up hangars for Halliburton and General Dynamics and everybody else to put the brand new shit in our area. Now, what did that do? One, we save face with a bunch of allies, and we save face with Zelensky. And the second thing it does is it
Oh shit!
checks
Hold on. What's up, Polar
checks
Bear?
a superpower.
Sorry, I
It
just
checks a superpower and stabilizes a region that otherwise would take American sons and daughters of liberty to do. And so if we can throw money at something and never step foot over there, then it was a worthwhile
But we
investment
have-
if it stabilizes a region.
We have people over there.
we do.
But we have people over there. That's the problem. And that's
Well,
what we're fighting a proxy war.
We in official capacity don't have people fighting Russia.
Okay.
Official capacity don't mean shit when you know you have boots on the ground. Maybe they are just giving aid, but you have boots on the ground transporting goods to another country. You are giving aid and comfort.
We give $230 million to a fucking floating dock that didn't work.
Right.
I thought that was pretty silly myself from the onset.
So you're sitting here and giving all this money to these countries. Well, like you said, it gets
It's bad
all
enough
our
that we
shit
funded
out.
both sides, though.
But we are still giving. We are technically still giving cash. Also, if it was just in ammunitions and all that stuff, okay, fine, get all that shit out of there. We get new shit. Okay, no problem. But we are actually giving cash. Also, we are actually
Administrative
giving money.
fees and things like that
There's
too.
some
Yes.
cash involved.
Yeah, there's a good portion of cash involved. But I am not working my fucking dick off, and everybody else is not working their dick off for $7 eggs while we're sitting there watching videos from fucking Ukraine where they're just like, oh, we've opened up new businesses. Oh, we've done this. Oh, we're having fun. You have fucking dumb Blinken over there.
But baby, you got it again. So let's zoom out for a second. What happens? Do you know what Ukraine does? First of all, they launder
A fifth
money.
of the world's wheat supply and 90% of our biomedical manufacturing and our production. Yeah, our production and research. Yes.
And you also got to look in the amount of agriculture that they supply shitloads of the rest of the world. Okay.
I understand.
So one thing is stabilization. You need to check Putin. You need to keep him off of Poland. You need to keep him out of NATO's back doors. Zelensky multiple times has requested to become part of NATO. And at some point, you got to say, Vladimir Putin is not allowed to dictate what other countries do as far as their allies. He thinks he has the affordability of buffer states, and you don't have buffer states anymore. So you check Putin. And the way you're checking Putin is by dollar bills that ultimately don't mean jack dick. They don't mean anything. Just like the deficit, just like the debt that we have to China. None of that means anything. When you're the motherfucking dude at the table that has the big guns and the big sack to use them, it doesn't matter what you think I owe you. It doesn't matter. And
We
it will
have
never
the big
matter.
guns, but we have an idiot behind the fucking trigger.
Okay, yeah. Every once in a while we have a fucking retard that can't operate. And honestly, like, I don't care who you like, left, right, in the middle. Right now, Joe Biden is a disgrace to the Oval. And I've said this maybe on this show before, but on other shows, we have to stop falling in love with the character and start holding the respect and the love and the honor for that office. Because what we did was turn this into a motherfucking popularity contest between left and right and this big whining back and forth. And we forgot this is the motherfucking Oval Office of the United States of America, the greatest republic that the world has ever seen. And we're going to put these puppets in here. Like, it's time to wake up. And another thing I'd like to address is, what the fuck is party loyalty? Somebody needs to explain to me what that is, because the way I
vote
see
blue
it,
no matter who, vote
there.
red till you're dead.
Yeah,
Down
but
ballot,
there's
it
two
doesn't
parties.
matter.
There's two parties, and here's what I think the problem is, guys. A big part of the problem. Let's pretend you're an alcoholic. Whether you are or not, I'm not throwing shade. But let's pretend you're an alcoholic. Well, I was an alcoholic, fellas. When I came home from the war, I was a little bit jacked up. You know, I was kind of self-medicating with some stuff, let it go too far, and now I'm an alcoholic. To stop being an alcoholic, you have to stop drinking everything, right? You have to stop drinking everything. And when your life was built around all the drinking that you did, from the bars to the hangouts to the time at home to the friends that you had in your life, they don't all stop drinking. And so what you have to do, if you really want to do that, is you have to restructure your life and your social life to say, I don't hang out with that anymore, and I don't hang out with that anymore, and I don't hang out with that anymore. Now, maybe, Rich, you can see where I'm going, but if you are a Republican and you no longer believe in the GOP, You've been your life a Republican. Your friends are Republican. The places you go to eat are conservative places. The places you go to church are conservative places. And now you've hit this bedrock, right? You're like, I don't believe in the GOP anymore, or I don't believe in the liberal party anymore, or the Democratic Party anymore. Well, when that becomes the case, you then have to do like an alcoholic does, and you have to restructure your entire social life, or you have to live a lie, right?
Yep.
And that's fucking terrible, and nobody wants to do that. So instead of that, you stay in that same echo chamber, and even though you might not believe it, you would rather keep believing it than restructure your entire social life because I'm a left. And it's like too much of that is what's gotten us into this fucking mess in the first place. You owe nothing to no motherfucking buddy. You don't know the left, you don't know the right, you don't know anybody with the Oval Office and the offices of the representatives and the offices of the representatives and who you vote. You owe that to them. If you can't give, that's what we owe. I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but
go ahead, brother. Speak it.
It's discouraging to me that I keep hearing this party loyalty and party loyalty. Well, I'm left. It's like, well, how long are you fucking left? And what happens if the left starts fucking, I don't know, killing people? What happens if the left turns super socialist and they start lopping their genitalia off and dancing and making fun of Christianity at the Olympics? How far left will you go before you say, I can't identify with left anymore? So what's the whole loyalty to anything that you don't believe in is living a lie. So it's just hard for me to get behind somebody saying, well, that's my party and that's my loyalty.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is fucking Ryan Rogers with the Choices Not Chances podcast. Y'all were liking him. Go ahead and follow this, man. As a matter of fact, I will bring it up, but I'm about to blow your mind just a little bit more here, Ryan. You want to know all this? Why all this migrant shit is going on?
I want to just touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
So Ryan's right. So when you and I quit drinking for about 1.5 years, because I didn't know who I was without drinking. Because I drank for a long time. I drank from the time I was 18 to the time I was about 37. Okay. And I quit just fucking cold turkey. And I realized it takes a certain kind of person to be able to do that. It takes a certain kind of person to step back and go, hey, I fucked up and I got to fix it. And you realize there's a lot of people who can't take that fucking step. And that's the problem. You can't, like you said, you have to have the ability to go, you can change my mind. And I'm that type of person too. Like if you're going to tell me, I'm going to tell you something and you're going to tell me something back, like we can have a conversation. Like I had a conversation with my buddy, and he was a hardcore Hillary supporter. And we had a conversation of why I didn't like her, and what was the problem with her. And he was like, after like an hour of this back and forth conversation, he was like, dude, I appreciate you. And at the point at that time I told him I was voting for Trump. And he goes, I appreciate you. And I go, I appreciate you too, dude. And he goes, this is the most civil conversation I've ever had with anybody who's a Trump supporter or somebody who doesn't agree with what I said. And I go, yeah, because I'm not a crazy person. Like, if you give me a reason to vote for somebody else, I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. If you gave me a good reason to vote for Kamala, I'd do it. But a lot of people are just like, vote for her because she's black or a woman. And it's just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do identity politics. I want somebody who won't have, who will close the borders, who will not have me paying $4 a gallon for gas, who will not have me paying fucking $7 for eggs, and will not continue to make my life a living fucking hell. The first time I ever bought stocks was under Trump, because I had more money in my fucking in my bank account. Like, I was like, holy shit, I still have money between checks. I've never had that before with anybody, with fucking Bush, with Clinton, anybody. And with Trump, I was finally being like, oh, I can buy stocks. Okay. And I did. And now with Biden, like you can't buy anything.
Again, let's say this, Davey. Well, you don't have to, but this is this is how I do it. It's not with Trump. It's with conservative policies.
Okay. Yeah.
With conservative policies, you had cheaper goods. With conservative policies, you had more at the end of your paycheck. And with real conservative policies that somebody ran on and then delivered.
Yep.
Okay. And so that's what I'm saying. Take the names and the character out of it and say, with conservative policies, this is where my life was. So I either vote for conservative policies or I vote for the antithesis of that. It's offered.
And you're right. You're right. And
Trump just happens to be the name right now. And don't get me wrong, guys. I like Trump. I do. I'll come out and say that even though I put myself in the middle, or even I might lean some left a little bit. All right. The left ran away from everybody.
Yeah.
The left just kept going and going and going. And that is why I have the questions of loyalty.
I'm not conservative. The only thing that ever changed about my views ever since I was younger is abortion. Yeah, that might be a bad thing, but I don't understand why a country as rich as ours can't take care of the basic medical needs for its citizens, but we can do that across the world for everybody else. You know, can it be abused? Fuck yeah. We got a lot of problems we need to fix out before we roll out something like socialized medicine. I guarantee you it could work. We could do it. All we have to fucking do is just stop spending money everywhere else.
It's so funny how the party lines have kind of I don't want to say shifted where now Republicans are more like, hey, it's your life, do whatever you want. And Democrats are like, you have to be fall in line and all this. And that was the liberal stance in the 90s. Like,
right.
Live however you want to live, do whatever you want to do, we're for the people. And now the Republicans are more like, no.
Occupy Wall Street was a Democrat fucking protest.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers were saying we're the 99% and we're going against the 1%. Now they're saying, I want that 1% to bend me over and fuck me in the ass. The same motherfuckers that were saying that are now saying, fuck me, daddy.
By the way, Ryan, you got 2 more subscribers at least.
Oh, he's got a lot more than that. There was like at least 5 or 6 in there that said something, but I guarantee you we're going to pull more people towards you because you're actually being real and speaking. And this is what people want.
I appreciate all of you. I hope that, look, I try to unite people, right? So my approach is maybe a bit different than some of the other speaking heads, but
we all are.
I try to unite people as much as possible. Let's say that through stories, through shared experience, and I probably will start doing lives. I've kind of been mulling it over for a couple of months on what I want to do and how I want to do them. But if you're going to come over to the show, you're gonna start seeing a whole lot more of that. So I appreciate the subs though.
Dude, I tell you what you do when you do a live, just make it you. You tell a war story from beginning to end. You just let it all go, let it all out there. Everything that you can say that is not like classified or would expose anybody in any way. You just tell a war story.
That is full of shit, dude.
What do you mean?
I'm just telling you, most guys that would tell you a story and say, well, all of that's classified, I can't talk about it, they're usually full of shit.
I understand. But I mean, if it would get you in
hold
trouble,
hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, 100%. You're gonna sit there and tell me Ryan wouldn't say, dude?
No. I'm not talking about Ryan. Hold on.
Way up presidential non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. Then the only things classified that guys wouldn't be able to tell you about are like maybe special weapons and exercises, which 99% of people that have ever told you they're badasses and they did all that, those are probably usually false as well. Real guys that did real shit don't brag about doing real shit and don't talk about how classified it was.
So you're telling me that people who brag about having classified information and people who say it's classified and I can't say that are full of shit?
I'm saying in my community.
Okay. No, listen. I
If you're
just
talking
want.
about politicians, bro, yeah, they probably have a bunch of classified shit that can't leave the skiff that they do leave the skiff with anyway.
Definitely,
They upload the
100%,
pictures at
but-
their home, and then they tell you they can't talk about it because it's too classified. But in my community, I've been around for a long time, man. There's certain things, certain technologies you can't talk about. But if you're talking about, I can't tell you about that gunfight because it's classified, that would be horseshit.
Dude, I was a military contractor.
Who just got declassified a couple years ago, and now they're telling their stories.
I
And
was
so
a military contractor, and I know from component level how the Patriot fiber optic fucking platform works. Can I talk about that? Absolutely fucking not.
that would be a special weapon or exercise, bro. I get it.
I built the shit. I can't talk about it. I can tell you how effective it is. I can tell you everything about it from a technical fucking aspect, but I can't go into detail anything more than that.
Sure, and that would be a weapon. There's weapons, there's comm gear, there's sensitive collection gear, of course.
If I
We're
gave
not
that
gonna talk
information
about that.
away, my ass would be in Gitmo immediately.
Yeah, because people like you are on lists, Rich. So
I mean, I already fucking am. You know
No,
when that, you know when that
that's
that quadruple S thing was going around on people's flight tickets, you know, things like that. I had one like that. Every time I go to an airport, I literally go like an hour or two before my flight because it's going to take a while for me to get my ticket.
yeah,
Maybe it's because I used to be a military contractor back in the day, and all of a sudden for a company, I'm now flying across the country sometimes. You know, maybe it's a little bit suspicious for them. Point taken, but yeah,
Wait,
they're watching.
I have a quick video.
What's up?
That just made me laugh.
I'm sick and tired of Americans
Turn it up.
concerning themselves with this so-called Indian lady running as a black president. We've moved on. It's a different world, different time. She's trans black.
I'm telling you, dude, the fucking black community has had enough of this fucking bullshit, and I'm so glad. Listen, once again, we preach this every podcast I do, whether it's off label, whether it's business party, whether it's weekend hangover. I don't give a fuck. People have to realize, and they're starting to wake up. It is not us again. It's not us against us. It's us against them. And it's starting to be a thing, and I fucking love it, dude. I love it so fucking much. And this is another thing. This right here. Today is the day I hope you will donate, right? This is why one of the things I love about the internet. This motherfucker looked it up. That is a $62,000 necklace she's wearing. You want to tell me how she's not elite?
I mean, she sucked dick to get to the way to the top. However, I'm going to hit you with this, Ryan, right before we go to Rumble. Now, like I was saying, you know why all the immigration is happening?
census.
The great replacement theory is true, but it's not about race. It's about economy. This is a document from the United Nations Secretariat dated March 21st of 2000. Replacement migration. Is it a solution to declining and aging populations? Now, in this document here, what it is, it talks about using migration into a country whose birth rate is low to actually boost their economy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you use migration to replace a declining birth rate to a point to where it can actually stabilize. I'm going to actually have to scroll real quick because I think it's like I do need to
72
remember
or
the page,
73.
but it's not 73 as far as it's actually listed on this. It's a fucked up page number, but it talks about like you understand why Russia and Korea fucking hate us because the United Nations says fill your country with immigrants. There's Italy. I need to actually remember the page number.
Japan.
Republic of Korea. Where is it? Russian Federation. I think we are not too far from that one if I remember correctly. United Kingdom is 66. United States of America. Okay. To the entrance to the United States of America. The total fertility rate in the United States dropped from 3.45 births per woman in 1950 to 1955 to 2.2 in 1970 to 1975. At that point, that's when the women were actually entering the workforce. Except for temporary period during the time of the late 1970s and late 1980s, which was the era of love where everybody was fucking everybody and getting pregnant, when it hovered around 1.8. The total fertility rate has continued to be around 2 children per woman. Life expectancy at birth, meanwhile, has risen from 69 years in 1950 to 1955 to 75.7 years in 1990 to 1995. So because of medical advances, we're holding on to the people on an average a lot longer. So we have to pay for them on an average a lot longer. As a consequence of these changes, the proportion of the population aged 65 or older has risen from 8.3% in 1950 to 12.5% in 1995.
Yep.
And the potential support ratio declined from 7.8 in 1950 to 5.2 in 1995. As a point of comparison, the potential support ratio was 15 in 1900 when 4% of the population was aged 65 years or older. Okay, so they're going off these certain days to say, hey, the birth rate is dropping, but your economy keeps rising. You still have to go these kinds of routes to at least stabilize or keep growing. Basically is what that says. Here's the disturbing part of it all, though. We are between scenario 4 and scenario 5. Scenario 4 keeps the size of the population aged 15 to 64 constant at its maximum of 192.5 million that it would reach in 2015, assuming no in-migration after 1995. Okay, so that's like, people aren't moving all over the place. You don't have people leaving and coming and going, and there's a decline and all that shit. In order to keep the working age population constant at that level, it would be necessary to have 18 million migrants between 2015 and 2050, which is an average of 513,000 migrants per year. Now, you want to go back in time and look at everything. For about a decade, we were hovering around 400,000 to 470,000 migrants a year. Legally, mind you. By 2050, out of a total population of 316 million people, we're already at roughly around 350 if you want to add everybody. 25 million or 7.9% would be post-1995 immigrants or their descendants. 7.9% by 2050 would be people that have just come to America or have roots in somebody that has come to America at that point in time. Here's scenario 5, and this is the most fucked up one. Scenario 5 keeps the potential support ratio at its 1995 value of 5.2 persons aged 15 to 64 for each person aged 65 or older. In order to keep the potential support ratio constant at that level, it would be necessary to have 593 million immigrants from 1995 to 2050. An average of 10.8 million per year. By 2050, out of a United States total population of 1.1 billion, 775 million, or 73% would be post-1995 immigrants or their descendants.
Yeah.
That's what it's fucking about. We're we're between both of them right now. We're on the lower end of it, but we are between both of them as far as that is concerned.
Okay, so here's a question. The question is, let's assume that we have that problem. And let's assume that we don't bring any immigrants in at all. We shut the border, we close it, and we only take in, the legal immigrants, which is far, far less than what they would need or supposed here. What happens? What are the potential offshoots of running out of support ratio? And that's what people don't think about. It's your younger working class Americans right now start to run out of them. Now everybody's working. Now there's job need filled that can't fill. This slows logistics down. This slows production down. This starts closing plants down. And now your economy starts to go backwards and fall off. And like, people weren't paying attention a few years ago when this happened with China. China limited their birth rate long ago at 1. And what happened? They fucking collapsed. And why? Because things kept getting expensive. You didn't have any of that support factor. And so child A was marrying to child B and then moving all 4 of those in-laws and parents into the same house so that they could live. So on their awesome communistic income, right? And then what happens? Well, they don't spend money because they're trying to live. And everything's getting more expensive and tech's getting more expensive. And what did China just have to do recently? They had to ban the one-child birth rate because they found out the hard way in one generation that crippled them, and their economy fell apart, and their condominium builders declared bankruptcy and stole trillions of dollars from people. So much money from people that those investors tracked them down and held them at gunpoint, and Beijing had to send officials out. So bad that they started trying to assassinate with pocket guns. I mean, this all happened in the last couple of years, and nobody was taking the hint. So I'm not yelling or mad at anybody, but what I would say
No. I'm just going to say, does this sound familiar?
Yeah, if that's a real problem, then we should be bringing in migrants, because otherwise the economy starts to go down. Now, do I think we do it the way we're doing it right now? I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know.
The way we're doing it right now, exactly not, because I mean, we have damn near like 1,000 fucking known terrorists that are here right now that we
haven't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
seen in our own country.
But you could do a lottery and a vetting process and have millions of people get into it, and then you vet them.
But then you're talking about things like Hunger Games situation with the lottery. I don't like that idea. I think it should be first come, first serve. Let's take it. You wanted to go ahead and fix the immigration process, fine. You want to ramp up the ability to let people in here legally and okay enough to at least adhere to the way of life, fine. Let's have that conversation. But you don't let the fucking border be flooded.
They have to be vetted.
Right. I mean, you found 8 motherfuckers. They found 8 motherfucking terrorists in 3 different cities in one fucking day.
Good.
What the fuck?
By the way,
at least we're finding them. I mean, it'd be worse if they didn't find them.
Right.
By the way, just to let everybody know, football's back. The Hall of Fame game is on. So if you see my eyes go up, I love these multiple fucking screens because I'm watching the football game.
You know what?
We're about to end our conversation, Davey.
I'm listening to the conversation. China, one-child policy, fuck them all. I'm listening. But
I just wanted to make the point that this great replacement theory, as scary as that may sound, people in layman, the general person who's not give much thought to that subject, don't realize that at some point, if that's a real problem, you want to bring people in and bolster the economy. You do.
Right.
Or you want to highly encourage a child tax incentive or something so that people are having more babies.
And
what you do
hold on 1 second. So there's a conspiracy theory right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's actually, I know where he's going with it, but it sounds plausible.
I have not, with my first wife, no kid, 14 years. Okay. Second wife, wasn't able to. Me and Amanda met, and within 3 months, she was pregnant. Okay. Now, she works at Ford. She said she's never seen so many people in her entire life at Ford, she's been there almost 10 years, who have been all pregnant at the same time. How many? 20? 46 people. 46 people are either pregnant or have a wife or significant other that are pregnant. I think that they're putting something.
After
They're-
they
they're-
crippled,
they're
something
putting
in water
something-
to make people more fertile.
Dude, it's not. I've seen more pregnant people and I said it. Oh my God.
no.
I've
hold
seen
on.
more pregnant women. Hold on. I've seen more pregnant women everywhere. Dude, I swear to God, I saw a 57-year-old pregnant Mexican lady the other day.
I mean, that
like-
doesn't sound fucking.
I've
That
seen
doesn't
more
sound
people
out of
that
the
are
norm.
pregnant right now than I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I go to the store and half
they
the
putting-
women I see
Hold on.
at the store are fucking pregnant. It's the weirdest thing. And I didn't
Dude.
see that for a long time. Like, I didn't see
Dude.
pregnant women
You
for
don't
a
have to-
long time.
You don't have to
For a long
put
time.
shit. You don't have to put shit in the water. You don't have to do all that at all. Literally, all you have to do is stop trying to make fucking people infertile. All the shit we put in water, everything that's found in men's reproductive organs and women's reproductive organs, all you have to do is just stop flooding the fucking country with that and watch the fucking population boom.
Yeah, or
God, I hope.
put
I hope
support
Wild
behind
Child
the
gets
nuclear
pregnant.
family again and stop making it incentivizing ruining good men and women. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be another start at it, you know?
But, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you the link a while ago, and then we just went off on a tangent again. We're going to go ahead and cut to Rumble, and then we're really going to get into some shit here because we got some things to show you guys. But until then, you got 3 minutes. Make them count. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.